Hey there, fight fans. In today's video, Russian fighter Sharabutdin Magomedov, also known as Shara Bullet, recently signed a contract with the UFC. But don't be mistaken to think that his right eye is a weakness.
Very few people would have still fought. At one eye, that's usually the price where most people are not willing to pay anymore.
His opponents believe that he can't see with his affected eye and attempt to exploit this by attacking him from the right side, hoping for an advantage. But this is the biggest misconception that his opponents have. Shara Bullet sees pretty well with his affected eye, and this is his greatest asset, as he skillfully utilizes this misconception to his advantage. So we're going to kick things off, but before we begin the video, you already know what to do. I understand that this may be bothersome to some, but if I don't remind you, you guys might forget to like and subscribe to the channel, so thank you in advance. Now, at the end of December 2022, a high-profile event took place that caused a wide resonance in the information space. Sharabutdin Magomedov, also known as Shara Bullet, signed a contract with the UFC. Now, Shara Bullet was known in his homeland for his impressive record, including 15 victories, currently 11-0 as a professional. This attracted attention, and it immediately became obvious that the new star from Dagestan had great prospects in the organization.
Did you see that new guy from Dagestan that got signed by the UFC in the middleweight division that's blind in one eye? He's a fucking killer too, man. Nasty striker.
Yeah, I met him in Dubai, and he came and took a picture with me, and he was like, I'm an undefeated fighter.
Sharaputin Magomedov. Nasty striker too.
That's crazy.
It's crazy because I didn't think that was legal.
Yeah. I
thought maybe it's only legal in certain states. Maybe he only has to fight in certain places. He actually got in a fight with someone in a mall in Dagestan because the guy was doing a public... told him to cut it out. The guy took a swing on him and he beat this dude's ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because apparently over there, like you can't even like kiss in public.
Yeah, it's a different culture. It's a different thing. It's not like it's not like out of like hate or anything like that.
Right.
It's just like you shouldn't be doing it.
Indeed, the UFC is clearly placing a serious bet on Shara Bullet, and this suggests that they are aware of his potential and popularity in his homeland. Dana knows very well that he managed to put together a huge fan base, and the organization could have offered him a debut at a less prestigious event, but instead he got the opportunity, as he will be fighting on the same card with the champion, Islam Makhachev. Now, this is a testament to the trust and confidence that the UFC has in relation to Shara Bullet. The famous Ali Abdelaziz, known for his work with some outstanding fighters, also became the manager of Bullet. His participation in the affairs of Bullet emphasized the seriousness and significance of this event. However, in addition to the successful collaboration with Ali Abdelaziz, Bullet brought his own zest, or peculiarity, you might say, his own uniqueness to the promotion. Now, it is important to note that Shara Bullet has faced some serious health issues that have raised concerns about his future in the UFC. Outwardly, a defect in his right eye is noticeable, which he received back in 2016, but did not seek immediate medical help, which led to the worsening of his condition. As a result, he had to undergo 8 operations, after which Bullet was finally able to return to the cage. Now, it should be noted that Bullet himself claims that he sees with his eye almost perfectly. However, opponents still try to attack him from the right side, believing that they can use this as their advantage. This defect probably causes Bullet some additional discomfort during his fights, so he must be especially vigilant and develop his own strategy to compensate for any potential limitations associated with the vision problem. But despite these challenges, Bullet continues his career in the UFC and rises to the challenge of his opponents. His determination and tenacity to return to the cage after a series of operations, well, that just speaks to his strong character and desire to succeed. Indeed, there were fighters in the UFC who had serious vision problems and went on to have some successful careers. An example of such a fighter is the Brazilian Charles Oliveira, who only saw 50%, but despite this, became the champion of the UFC. Also worth mentioning is the legendary Michael Bisping, who lost one eye in 2013 and was forced to use a glass prosthesis.
Check this out. Look at this, baby boys. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why I used to wear sunglasses, baby.
However, he was able to achieve some outstanding results and win the UFC middleweight belt. Now, these examples show that strong motivation, talent, and adaptability can compensate for some physical limitations. So the UFC carefully kept this new superstar from the moment of signing the contract to the debut, as 10 months will have passed. And this should not be associated with his health or any sort of doping issues. Bullet announced the possibility of making his debut in the summer and was eager to fight for a very long time. But apparently, the UFC does not intend to rush it. It's going to carefully guide Bullet, most likely at such a status event where he will immediately be tested for strength, and he will get an opponent in the top 15 middleweight division. But the best option seems to be Kelvin Gastelum. Of course, he expressed a desire to move to welterweight, but for the sake of such a fight, maybe he'll change his mind. The American in the UFC even fought for the title, and he does have a powerful track record. And if Bullet were to defeat Gastelum, he can greatly draw attention to himself. So there is very little time left before the debut of Bullet. October, UFC 294, a new star from Dagestan will try to prove himself in the best promotion on the planet. But Bullet's success will depend on his own sporting accomplishments, his performance in the octagon, and his ability to maintain public interest. With the right promotion and support from the UFC, he has every chance of a great future there. As such, Dana White and the UFC are banking on middleweight in the hopes of finding new and exciting fighters who can engage audiences and bring a new freshness to that division. Now, we can agree that the middleweight needs some new heroes, and the fact that Paulo Costa and Sean Strickland got Ikram Aleskarov and Abu Safyan Magomedov as opponents only confirms this theory. Dana wants to kill two birds with one stone. He is going to test how good these fighters are, and if they win, well, he'll promote them. That is why Dana is betting on middleweight, because at the moment there are not enough outstanding fighters who can go, "Hi, I'd like to become the threat to everyone and become champion." So we're gonna see what happens in the future. But we will be sure to keep you updated with all the events in the world of MMA, and if you like this video, do not forget to support our channel with likes and subscriptions. So thank you very much in advance.